Reports from the Colorado Avalanche side of a potential Linus Ullmark trade has recently came out and said what they would need to do to get Ullmark and what they would need to give up to be able to make a trade happen if this were the case. I'm going to be talking about that, as well as a player that the Boston Bruins have reportedly been targeting, a player from the Metro who has a great chance of being a fantastic player for the Boston Bruins if a trade does end up happening. Before we get into all of this news, though, we noticed that 81% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your Boston Bruins news, you're in the right spot. Make sure to hit the sub button, and we're also on the road to 3,000 subscribers. It would mean the world if you guys would hit that sub button and get us there. But like I said, let's get straight into our first topic, and this one is going to be a pretty big one first to start off with, and this is the Avalanche have revealed the price of what they would have to give up for a potential Linus Ullmark deal. Now, before we get into it though as well, I have some new text, so I'm trying to figure it out, and if there is a few issues here in this video, it will be fixed for the next one, and I apologize, but let's get straight into it here in this first one. That being said, I think that the team could benefit from a change with their starting goaltender. It could result in Georgiev being moved. My proposal, Georgiev and a draft pick to the Boston Bruins for Linus Ullmark. I know it might sound absolutely insane, but it is possible that the Bruins will be willing to move the 30-year-old Ullmark for a guy who is a couple years younger, while also having Jeremy Swayman take over, or let he and Georgiev battle it out in training camp for the starting job. This here is from milehighsticking.com, so this is not the actual Avalanche by themselves. However, there are some good reports that they've had in the past, and I think that they do have a bit of a knowledgeable insight, but this also continues to say, if these two teams talk trade, it won't just be straight up player for player deal. I would imagine the Avalanche would need to fork over a high draft pick. If they were going to make this work, is it likely the trade goes down? Who knows? But I think the Avalanche would benefit from it. They should at least explore the possibilities. So right here really goes into a pretty good example of what many teams are thinking a Linus Ullmark deal would look like, except this point is from the standpoint of the Colorado Avalanche. And I'm going to say, I'll be the first to say this here. I know you guys are going to comment this, because I absolutely agree with what you're going to have to say. This is certainly not enough for what we want from Linus Ullmark. We've seen other reported trades where we're going to get way more picks, players, more quality players, quality picks. We don't need Alexander Georgiev, and nor do we want Alexander Georgiev. We're going to have Jeremy Swayman. We're going to sign him to a new contract, and he is the future of this team. It's going to be his net to lose. We don't need a backup goalie or even let him compete with Jeremy Swayman for next year's starting position. It is Jeremy Swayman right now, and it will be until we see him start next season. I think Brandon Bussi could be an absolutely fantastic backup goalie, whether they want to make him the backup goalie or start him in the AHL for one more season. He will have success in either way, and I'm very confident about that. So a move for Georgiev in exchange for Linus Ullmark, that don't make any sense for our standpoint. I know likely it will have to be a goalie coming in return to make things work out, to make the trade eligible, but still, that's not an option that I think we want. We'd likely want a forward, a center, a quality player who would at least help out the offense on this team, knowing that they don't really have any defensive forwards that we could get in an exchange for like this. No defenseman on that team really would fit what we're looking for right now, but there's a player that I have in mind I think could be a pretty interesting one here. That's Casey Mittelstadt. You can see right here, he's an RFA coming up on this season, left wing center. They got him, I think, knowing that they're going to want to re-sign him, but if they were to trade Ullmark to the Colorado Avalanche, I think we should at least go after a player like Casey Mittelstadt, who really showed that he can improve with a better team, as he did going from Buffalo to Colorado here. What we see in the playoffs, the regular season with Colorado, I think that there's a very good potential that Casey Mittelstadt could be a player they should look for if a trade were to go down, instead of a guy like Georgiev as the main component. We also have that high draft pick that they spoke about, which I think would be a fantastic idea, and a player that they should really look at in Casey Mittelstadt. Now, once again, all speculation, as the article said, there's nothing happening yet, but if it were to be the way that we're saying it is, I really don't like the idea of Alexander Georgiev trade. But let's move over to what he did this year, and as you can see here, 80 games, 57 points, a much more improved year for Casey Mittelstadt. He's not the smallest of players, but he's still not huge. He has the reputation of kind of being one of the weaker players, but I think that his potential here could be, once again, very, very high, depending on who he's matched up with, who he's paired with, and whatnot. I think there's a lot of potential here. So one interesting player to keep an eye on there would be Casey Mittelstadt. And the Colorado Avalanche, I still are very high on my list of teams that we could see Linus Ullmark going to, because they are a powerhouse and a new goalie, a quality starting goalie, but put this team exactly where they need to be. But let's move on to our second topic here, which is the Bruins are targeting a Flyers forward. And it's probably not who you think. I haven't heard much from this actually right now, but we've seen some pretty good stuff from this article, and I'm liking what we're seeing. I'll pull this up here as we're going into it. Joel Farabee, that is, has created some buzz in the rumor mill since the end of the season. With the Flyers rebuilding and having several promising young forwards, he could be made expendable for the right price. Farabee, 24 years old, will be a big addition to the Bruins lineup. The 2018 first-round pick has shown that he has the tools to be in much longer-term top six forward in the NHL. However, he'd also thrive playing on a much better Bruins team, as he would have more offensive support. A player, like I said, we haven't heard much of in Joel Farabee. It's a very interesting one. A player who's played exceptionally well, and I've seen many Flyers fans do not want to trade. Would be a very interesting one, as I said, to get into a potential lineup here with the Boston Bruins. As it said there, he'll also thrive much better with a more offensive team, a well-rounded team, a team that he would blend in well to and simply work out well. Farabee this year has been incredible. 50 points, 82 games. The point total might not show so, but on a Flyers team that really isn't the best, and a player who is getting better and better by the season, this is the highest point total so far in his career. And with ease, I can see that going up. Playing just under 20 minutes a game with the Flyers, and I think could be super good on this. Just turning 24, super good on this team, who really would add to this lineup. He is locked up by the Philadelphia Flyers here in this one. I will pull that up in a moment. So once again, I'm still trying to maneuver all this stuff, but as you can see, it's a very, very interesting one here, with him making $5 million for the next 4 seasons. So a lot of questions probably, why would they trade him after this contract? The Flyers are in a bit of a weird spot. We know that. That's nothing new. The Flyers have kind of been in a weird spot for a few years now, and they may just look for a change, but Joel Farabee is one that we've only really seen recently. There's not too much on him, but I think, as the article is saying, as just watching him in a game would help the Bruins. But still, once again, as this has been for just about everybody I've talked about on this channel since the playoffs have ended, still not the player the Bruins exactly are looking for. They're still looking for that big guy who is offensively talented, who would work out, and with 21 million the Bruins have, they can make that work in a few different pieces. So that's why all of these little moves potentially could matter. Joel Farabee, very, very talented player, good player, improving every season. Flyers fans don't want him to go. A hefty price for that team for a player who has only got 50 points in his career so far, season high, I should add. There's a lot of potential that he could really be a booming player when he develops more and whatnot. So another one to keep an eye on. There's still lots and lots of time before any moves are really made. I'd say we're going to see the draft before anything is made, but Ullmark is one that we're going to see, I'm assuming, at the draft, as many picks are being involved and tossed around in the sense of imagination of a potential trade. But let me know what you think about all of these deals here. Joel Farabee and a potential of that return specifically for Linus Ullmark. That one, not great. Gonna be honest, I don't like that deal, but the Colorado Avalanche definitely have the potential to be one of those teams. So let me know what you think. Let me know if this video is all good. I just want to make sure going back to check on all of this stuff. But I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, hit the sub button as well. As I said, we're on the road to 3K. It would mean the world to me if we could hit that. But yeah, that's all I got here in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, sub button, and yeah, I'm signing up. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.